I was really looking forward to Shiver Me Timbers because I'm really into horror films based on popular cartoons. There are a couple of others featuring Popeye, one of which I've seen, one of which I still have to see. This one was released this year, of course, in 2025. It's directed and written by Paul Stephen Mann, and we have a cast including Tony Greer, David Hallows, Murdo Adams, Stephen Corrall, and Amy Mackie as Olive Oyl. And honestly, I will say, first of all, it's not a great film. There are some things that I can praise, and I will do that in a moment. But in general, it's really underdeveloped, and it doesn't really, for the most part, feel like Popeye. The Olive Oyl character most certainly does not feel like I'm watching Olive Oyl. It's just the name of a character. So if you're looking for something that feels like a Popeye horror, it's not really going to be one for you. But at the same time, as I said, there are some things that are okay about it, but there are quite a few things that are quite badly done. The story focuses on this meteor shower and it turns Popeye into a killer. I don't hate it as a concept, but the pacing is not great. For the bulk of the film, basically nothing happens. And I wish I was exaggerating. Almost nothing happens. There are a couple of things that happen, but generally it's just a bunch of people together talking and not really doing very much. We spend a lot of time outdoors, which is nice. We have some nice locations. We have some good camera work. The lighting for the bulk of the film is okay, but when the, I guess, scary, potentially gory things do happen eventually, it's very brief, but we do get there eventually. It's so dimly lit that I can't really see what's happening. So the only bit that could have been genuinely quite scary was not scary at all because I couldn't really see what was going on. So that was rather disappointing. The performances are okay, and I think the characters are fine. They're not necessarily interesting, but they're not annoying. Nobody irritated me, so that wasn't too bad. It could have worked. It could have been scarier. With regards to the character of Popeye, I think the performance there is very, very good. Visually, the character could look quite menacing. Does he look like Popeye? I feel like apart from the pipe in his mouth, no, not really. If you showed me a picture of this character without the pipe, I don't think I ever would have went, that's Popeye. So while in theory the character looks okay, I don't think it's the right decision for this film. The story, as an idea, as a concept, absolutely fine. It's just very boring. Nothing happens for most of it, and as I said, when something does happen, the lighting is so horrendous that I can't really see what's going on. It's quite noisy. The noise is quite uncomfortable, and that in itself is obviously quite an unsettling experience. And throughout the film, the rest of the music sound effects, absolutely fine. I didn't make any notes about that, which means it's not annoying, so that's always a bonus. In general, I'd say it's a mediocre, average, bland film that doesn't do much wrong. There's not much that's done, in my opinion, badly. I just think there's not a lot that's done right. The camera works fine, the performances are fine, the concept is interesting, but the execution is just very, very slow. It's not necessarily that it's unbelievable or that I'm not buying into the story. As I said, I quite like the idea. I think it could work really well, but nothing happens. And again, when something does happen, I can't really see what's going on. So it had potential. It didn't deliver. But if you're curious, by all means, check it out. In the UK at the time of recording, it is on Plex, which is my least favourite streaming platform. I absolutely hate it. It doesn't do picture-in-picture, which drives me absolutely insane, unless anybody knows of a plugin that will work, but none of the plugins I've used work with Plex. The adverts will play picture-in-picture, but not the actual films themselves. But if anybody has found a plugin that works, please let me know. But either way, if you want to watch it, at least in the UK, it's currently on Plex, so it won't cost you anything if you're curious. If you don't like it, you've not really lost much. I don't regret the time spent watching it because I definitely wanted to watch it, and I was waiting for it to come onto Plex. I was going to pay for it if it wasn't available towards the end of the year. I'm really glad that I didn't because that would make it more irritating, but it was on Plex, not a problem. Don't regret watching it, wouldn't watch it again. If you're just looking for a great film, I don't really recommend it. But if you're really into these films, like the Mickey Mouse films, the Winnie the Pooh films, and of course the Popeye films, where we have cartoon characters in a horror setting, obviously he's not a cartoon here. If you're into these films, give it a go. You might enjoy bits of it. It's not an annoying film. There's nothing about it that bothered me. It's not unwatchable, but it by no means came anywhere close to meeting its potential. Ultimately, Shiver Me Timbers is not a very good film, but it is a watchable film, but it could have been so much better.